You know what the best part about making mistakes is? You get the chance to fix them and redo them and learn from them. So I was looking ahead to see what kind of recipes I was going to need and how much stuff I was going to need. And I found out I don't need that much nitrogen for the items I'm going to make. I need a ton of nitrogen for the rocket fuel power plant that I'm going to build in the near future. But I don't really need a whole lot for the materials I need over here. Like, I mean, these fused modular frames was what, 37.5? That's 75. And then cooling systems is what, 150 per? I mean, that's pretty simple. So I decided I only need 3 of these. And this one is more than enough to cover the fused modular frames. And these 2 will be for the cooling systems. And then I'm bringing rubber and plastic from our rubber and plastic factory from the very beginning, like episode 6, I think it was. I finally put it on a train and I brought it over here. I'm gonna need some rubber for those cooling systems. So that's actually kind of perfect that I was able to do that and bring it here too. So we need some rubber and we need some heat sinks. But yeah, I know I said I was gonna work on some of these buildings in between episodes, and so turns out I actually did. I built a couple of them. So here's the electronics factory right there. I decorated it, used a blue and white color scheme. I think it looks very nice. So on this side, it's just simple glass pane windows, and I used ramps to kind of outline the bottom there, so it gives it a little different shape. And then I used interesting roof pattern. It's unique, but that's not the only thing. We go to this side and we have arches for our windows. I couldn't fit more arches because I centered it over the railway, and then I built from there, and then I didn't have extra. So that's how that turned out. And then, spoiler, there's another building over there. Then on this side, I did a diamond window pattern. I think that looks really nice. So yeah, I've been hard at work trying to decorate some of these, make it look better. And then on this side, it's just a simple window. Not too bad. That's already coming back. Wow, that's crazy. And then over here, the copper building, I made some patterns in the windows, so I think it looks really good. Basically, this pattern goes all the way around the building, so if you see it on this side, it's mirrored on the other side. So you see this one, it's on the other side, and then this side here is on the opposite end as well. They're mirrored, so pretty good. But that's all I've been able to do so far. And I was like, we might as well just get working on the cooling systems. But I kind of mapped out what I'm going to do for the rest of the series. And it's a huge billboard here. I don't know why I like to do this, but anyways. This is a space elevator part in tier 9. I mapped out what I need. The automated, or advanced, I don't know what it's called. The assembly director system. I just need 0.5. We had already planned that in the electronics factory over there. So, we're good there. I'm just kind of figuring out fixed site trigon. You probably have no idea what that means if you haven't played to the end of the game. That's okay. We'll get there eventually. Don't worry about it. And then this is the oh wait, no, sorry. We gotta go here. The AI server, that's a tier 9. Requires this. Probably means nothing to you if you haven't played the rest of the game. Completely fine. But I've mapped out what I needed here. Basically, that's the space elevator part, which requires the previous space elevator part, which requires the previous space elevator part. So, yeah, I mapped that out, and I found out that I'm going to need a lot more versatile frameworks. That's fun. And then we come here. This whole board is the end game. So that's the last space elevator part we need to make. I needed to figure out everything I needed to get there. So this one right here, that's a thermal propulsion rocket. That is complicated to make. But yeah, that's right here. It's modular engine, so we need 2.5 modular engines per minute. And I figured out what I needed for 2.5 modular engine per minute, which is 5 smart plates per minute, so I have to make 5 of those. So I figured out, basically I went back to the beginning of the space elevator parts, because we are going to make a space elevator factory. So I need to figure out everything I need for the space elevator parts. But yeah, we also, these singularity cells are interesting. Need some nuclear pasta and a ton of iron plates and concrete. We'll get there when we get there. I'm just trying to figure out my end game. But if we know, turbo motors is on our to-do list pretty dang soon, and I wanted to know how many I needed. So we need 1 turbo motor for this step. And we need some turbo motors to be put in storage, so I figured let's just make 2. And now I know what I need for 2 of them. And this is where we get our cooling system number. So we need 8 cooling systems for the turbo motors, and we need 3 cooling systems for the thermal propulsion rocket. And that's all we need it for. You need some to build machines, so we're gonna want a little extra. So I decided, let's just make 18. 18 cooling systems. We need 11. Let's make 18. We can put some in storage. So that requires 36 heat sinks, 36 rubber, which we're bringing, 90 water, and 450 nitrogen, which we're bringing. I should just have a water train. That'd be pretty good. And then the heat sinks is alkyd aluminum sheets, 180 of them. I think we're making that. And copper sheets, 108. We do not have enough of that. So we're gonna have to make more of that. This all right here is really simple. The heat sinks is gonna be the step we need to actually build a bunch. But yeah, let's head over there. And we need, what, 180 aluminum sheets. We have 18 of those. 18 times 30 is 540. We got more than enough. So what do we need? 180. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. We just need 6 of these to go over here. But let's start with the blenders. We might as well get that going. And we'll probably do a similar pattern to what we did over there. And build it like that. So, cooling systems, we need 3 of these bad boys. And there we go. Fits pretty nicely within here. Now, the nitrogen gas we have below. We can just bring that up. And then we also have rubber and plastic should be entering in here now. So there's the plastic, there's the rubber, perfect. So we actually got enough rubber to handle this as well. I think the toughest part is going to be the water, because we have to bring, what is that, 90 water per minute. We don't really have water nearby. We have a little puddle here, that's nothing. The closest one is here, which is quite a ways away. We could do it, it's just gonna stink. And then our water pond over here is completely utilized. Yeah, water is gonna be tough, but we only really need this, so we can make that work. And there's all our pipes for the nitrogen gas. They're full. We might as well get this worked out right away. Okay, we'll upgrade this to a Mark II. We'll just let this fill up. I need to get some lights in here. Alright, so this should fill up with nitrogen gas. It already did. That's insane. Whoops, and connect. So rubber's already connected. Our nitrogen's connected. We'll have to bring in the aluminum sheets. Oh shoot, we don't need, no, it's not aluminum sheets, it's heat sinks. So that step is just some assemblers. So we can just put down 6 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll merge everything together. And there we go. So that'll be the heat sinks. And let's connect that up there. So there's the aluminum sheets. That should be coming up here. And then we'll go across. We want to try to make this as compact as possible. Not always possible, but try. That'll do. There's the sheets. And connect up the sheets. Alright. So we got that step done. We still need copper sheets. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna do that. If I can make this a Mark III, we could do it right here. I have fused modular frames and I have turbo motors sitting in my hub. We could do this. We could do this. Heck yeah. I might make them over here too. Just to put them in this building and then send them across. That'd be easy. Upgrade all the stupid belts because I didn't do them all in Mark V. If you just set them all up to Mark V from the beginning, maybe Grottos was right. Maybe just having everything at max belt speed is the best option because then you don't have to worry about doing it later. But when you inevitably upgrade it, I didn't grab my freaking fused modular frames. Alright, that's all the way up here. Good thing I made some storage for it, huh? I haven't brought it back to the sorting system because I'm lazy. I will do that after this episode once I get the cooling systems. That'll be good. Mine are Mark III. We need a what, 420, right? 420. 420. Look at that beast. Yep, there we go. And then we need to power everything. Alright, there should be the copper sheets. So now that'll start making some heat sinks. And just for my sanity, I'm gonna put in a floor hole so this looks better. Air quotes. There we go. So yep, these will start making some heat sinks. And the heat sinks will start going over to the cooling systems. And the only thing we need is water, which is annoying. Alright, so this is my water extraction site. I fit as many pumps as I could in such a small area. I might have room for one additional. Oh my goodness, I do. You're joking me. Do I have one back there? Nope, but I do have one right here. And you know I'm gonna squeeze this in here somehow. I am gonna do it. Okay, so now how do I make this pipe look better? Because it's also on the bottom. Okay, this works. I don't want to talk about it, but it works. So, so that one flies over that and then comes back down. Yep, that works. Oh, it is interesting. And then this one floats over there. Yeah. No, I like that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, what a mess that is. I gotta set up a bunch of these so I can actually get them connected, so give me a second for that. Alright, I connected up the water. That was irritating to connect. But I'm glad I was able to do it on this line because it actually fit and Just looks better. Looks better following this whole thing. And now it actually feels better knowing that I have 2 on the second stack instead of just 1. But anyways, yeah, it follows this whole line here. And then it's gonna go all the way around this whole system. I took the long route, don't worry about it. And then we go down here. And we join up with this little bridge over here. And then we connect up in the system. So I will color these here real quick. There we go. Cooling system number 1. And we're about to get it. There we go. We now have cooling systems. Which means we will be able to move on. We completed our first to-do list. Alright, cooling systems. Check. That one's done. So, the reality is we could do turbo motors next episode, or we could do fabric or smokeless powder next episode. We could do any of these. But I want to do these 3 before I do this one. That does leave the question of what we have left. We have particle enrichment, which is going to take cooling systems and turbo motors. So we can't complete this milestone until we build turbo motors, which is completely fine. My goal in between this episode and the next is to complete some more buildings. We have a few more. And now that that one we just finished is complete, I would like to build that one out too, eventually. We'll get there. It'll take some time. And I am going to set up a truck to grab everything from that one over there and bring it to the central hub so it can go into the sorting system. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.